Hi, I'm Trevor from Game Castle College Park. We are really excited because Phyrexia All Will Be One is out this weekend. So we have three events going on. We have a field event happening Friday at 6:30, and then we have two other events. On Sunday, we have a 12:30 event, and then also at 5:30, we're doing a special thing. We are having a two-headed giant, and so you come with a friend, or if not, they probably can find. So in a minute, we're going to transition and start opening some packs. All these singles will be available for purchase as soon as you see this. This weekend, come on down, find these singles, get them for your commander deck or standard or whatever. I'm going to be opening this entire box, and we're going to be having some of these. Well, we'll have all of the singles available tomorrow. Let's get in here. Just jump right in. I don't know if I'm getting worse at this or they're making the packs harder to open, but like it feels harder. Let's see. So we've got the mini game thing. It's an art card. Oh, a nice Phyrexian mountain. That's pretty cool. So we have a foil, which looks nice. And then our rare, which you just get right to it, is a Green Sun's Twilight, which is pretty solid full. It's X and a green. Sorcerer, reveal the top X plus one cards in your library. Choose a creature card and or a land card from among them. Put those cards into your hand and the rest in the bottom of your library in a random. If X is 5 or more, instead put the chosen cards onto the battlefield or into your hand and the rest in the bottom of your library in a random. I think that's going to be fantastic. Definitely need to pick up one for my elf deck. We'll see what the next pack holds, but that's a good first pack. All right, we have two rares in this one. We have actually a rare, which is Might Overseer, which is a 4/2 first strike for 3 and a white. As long as it's your turn, creature tokens you control get +1/+0 and have first strike. You pay 3 and a Phyrexian white. Create a 1/1 colorless Phyrexian Might artifact creature token with Toxic 1, and this creature can't block. And if you were in Sealed, you'd feel very good about this pack because the Mythic also is in white. So Phyrexian Vindicator for 4 white is a 5/5 flyer. Passes way above the vanilla test. If damage would be dealt to Phyrexian Vindicator, prevent that damage. When damage is prevented this way, Phyrexian Vindicator deals that much damage to any other target. So that's sort of the flip side of my favorite Phyrexian Obliterator. Just looking quickly through the pack, we've got Necrogen Rot Priest, which is a solid uncommon. Thrumming Bird, which you may remember, and Duress, and some solid commons and uncommons there. But let's go to the next. Churning Reservoir is our foil. It's nice. We got two rares in this one. So we have Jor Kadeen First Gold Warden. It's a 2/2 trample for a red and a white. Whenever it attacks, it gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of equipped creatures you control. Then, if their power is 4 or greater, you draw a card. And then Voran Executioner Thane, which is a 2/2 for 1 and a black. Whenever one or more other creatures you control die, each opponent loses 2 life, and you gain 2 life. This ability triggers only once per turn. Alright, so, I know that one. It's Venser. Venser is a 2/2 for 2 and 2 blue, has flash. When it enters the battlefield, you return a spell or a permanent to its owner's hand. Very solid card, always has been, and I'm sure it will be here. Wow, we really lucked out with this pack. So that was our list card. That's why I know it. It's because it was reprinted from a previous set. So it's not currently actually in this set. But that means we get 2 other cards here. So we have, our foil is also, it's Archfiend of the Dross. A 6/6 flying for 2 and 2 black. It enters the battlefield with 4 oil counters on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, remove an oil counter from it. Then, if it has no counters on it, you lose the game. Sounds bad. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, its controller loses 2 life. So, great stats. Don't love losing the game. All right, then we also have a 4/4 trample for 2 and a green. Its name is Bloated Contaminator. It has Toxic 1, and when it deals combat damage to a player, you proliferate. So solid stats on that all right. Alright, got a foil Chrome Prowler. Oh, well, I know this one too. So our rare is a reprint, but not from the list. This is in the set. It's Phyrexia Arena. It's an enchantment for 1 and 2 black. At the beginning of your upkeep, you draw a card and use life. So that's pretty awesome. And then a foil full art swamp. Foil draw spits. We have 2 rares in this pack as well. One of the nice things about getting set boosters is you have a much higher chance of having multiple rares and mythics. And so we have Blade of Shared Souls. It is an artifact equipment for 2 and a blue. It has 4 Mirrodin, which means when it comes into play, you get a 2/2 and it attaches. When it becomes attached to a creature, for as long as it remains attached to it, you may have that creature become a copy of another target creature you control. I think a little oddly worded. It also has equipped for 2. Pretty good pull. And then we have Kinzu of the Bleak Coven, which is a 5/4 flying for 4 and a black. And then whenever another non-token creature you control dies, you may pay 2 life and exile it. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's a 1/1 and has Toxic 1. That's pretty cool too. I swear they're making this art. Foil Bladed Ambassador, and our rare is Geth, Thane of Contracts. It is a 3/4 for 1 and 2 black. Other creatures you control get -1, -1. Pay 3, 1 and 2 black. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains, if this creature would leave the battlefield, exile it instead of putting it anywhere else. Activate only as a sorcerer. Definitely imagine some solid decks involving that. Our rare is Azuri, Stalker of Spheres. I saw this one earlier in the spoilers. It's a 3/3 for 2, a green and a blue. When it enters the battlefield, you may pay 3. If you do, proliferate twice. And then whenever you proliferate, you draw a card. It's going to be great and limited. Yeah, you may not be able to pay effectively the kicker on that, but if your deck is revolving around proliferate, it won't matter. Really solid, and might even see if my elf deck wants that. I don't know. I'm not sure if there's enough counters going around. We have another list card. And it's Crypt Rats. Hey. It's a copper staple. It's a pretty solid card. We have a foil Vivisection Evangelist. And then our rare is Unctus the Grand Meditant, I guess. 2/4 for 1 and 2 blue. Other blue creatures you control have, whenever this creature becomes tapped, draw a card, then discard a card. Other artifact creatures you control get +1/+1. Until end of turn, target creature you control becomes a blue artifact in addition to its other colors and types. Activate and use sorcery. Our rare is a 1 red. It's a 1/2. Vindictive Flames. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put an oil counter on it. Pay 6 in a red. Sacrifice it. Discard your hand, then draw 4 cards. This ability costs 1 less for each oil counter on it. Marika, Brutal Gladiator. I do not know all the text in this, so I'm going to have to read it. So it's a 7/4 for 2 a black, a red, and a green. It must be blocked if able. This is a legendary creature. As long as it's your turn, it has indestructible. And whenever it deals combat damage to a creature, if that creature was dealt excess damage this turn, that creature's controller sacrifices a non-creature, non-land permanent. I think that's a very good pull. And definitely happy to have them. We have a foil, Unnatural Restoration. And then we have another rare, which is the Mycosynth Gardens. It casts for colorless. It can filter mana into any color. and then you pay X, and it becomes, you pay X and tap it, and it becomes a copy of target non-token artifact you control with mana value X. So pretty good pull there too. Definitely a good back. All right, we've got Kethek, Crucible Goliath. This is a 4/4 for 2 of black and a red. At the beginning of your end step, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a non-legendary creature card with lesser mana value. Put it onto the battlefield. Then put the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order. That's pretty cool. And I think could work in Dahada because it says it's looking for a non-legendary creature card. If you only had one non-legendary creature, it could go and find that. We have a mythic. It's Drivnond Carnage Dominus, which has some crazy stats here. It is an 8/3 for 3 and 2 black. If a creature dying causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. Then 2 Phyrexia black, exile 3 creature cards from the graveyard, from your graveyard, and you can put an indestructible counter. So that's really solid. If you face that this weekend, I'm sorry, and also you get it. Oh, we get a foil mythic this time. Oh, that's pretty cool. It's a 4/4 for 2 and 2 white. It is Mondrak, Glory Dominus. It's a legendary creature. If one or more tokens would be created under your control, twice that many of those tokens are created instead. And then it has 1 and 2 Phyrexian white. Sacrifice 2 other artifacts and/or creatures. Put an indestructible counter on it. Well, that works nicely here. We have 2 Dominuses and 2 packs. But that, we're not done yet. So we have a rare Red Sun's Twilight, which is X and 2 red. Sorcery, destroy up to X target artifacts. If X is 5 or more, for each artifact destroyed this way, create a tokenless copy of it. Those tokens gain haste, exile them, and their turn. Wow. So Mondrak is an absolutely fantastic pull. I think it's worth like $42. So, all right, let's see if we can. Still looking for Elish Norn. Still looking for Phyrexia Glitter, and see what we see. That might just be me. But we have foil free from Flesh, and then we have another mythic.
Wow.
So we have Luca, Bound to Ruin. So it's a legendary planeswalker. It's common. It's 2 a red, a green, and a Phyrexian red-green. And so this is complicated. This means that you can pay that life, but if you do, it comes in with 2 less counters. So if you pay its full cost, it's coming in with 5 counters. Otherwise, it's coming in with 3. But either way, a +1, add a red and a green, spend this mana only to cast creature spells or activate abilities of creatures. -1, create a 3/3 Phyrexian Beast creature token with Toxic 1. And then -4, it deals X damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures and/or planeswalkers, where X is the greatest power among creatures you controlled as you activated this ability. That's a very good pull. And another Phyrexian foil land. That's really cool. Xancha Sleeper Agent, which is our list card. That's a rare. Our rare from this set is the Seed Courage. It's a land. It taps for a colorless, or it taps for 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast Phyrexian creature spells. And then it has Corrupted. A target 1/1 creature gets +2/+1 until end of turn. Activate only if an opponent has 3 or more poison counters. Sort of a corrupted Pendlehaven. And that's what they're going for there. Pendlehaven gives a 1/1 +1/+2. So this is sort of the opposite of that. We have another Phyrexian foil land. This one a mountain. We have Seachrome Coast. I mean, that's great. That's land. If you don't know it, it's a classic, so I just reviewed it. But it's a land that enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or few other lands. It taps for a white or a blue. And then we have another rare, Big Law's Maze Crusher. So this is a 4/4 for 1, a red and a green. It enters the battlefield with 5 oil counters on it. You can pay 1, remove an oil counter from it. It gains Vigilance and Menace until end of turn. You can pay 2, remove 2 oil counters from it. It gets +2/+2 until end of turn. And then you can pay 3 and remove 3 oil counters from it. And destroy target artifact or enchantment. So it's doing a lot. Another Phyrexia land. Alright, it looks like we've got a list card, and it's mythic, so pretty solid. It's a Sign of Draco. So 4/4 for 12 mana, but it has Domain, so it costs 2 less to cast for each basic land type among lands you control. So it's a flyer, and each creature you control has Vigilance if it's white, Hexproof if it's blue, Lifelink if it's black, First Strike if it's red, and Trample if it's green. So it's a solid list card. Great. We have a rare, which is Big Law. I've just read it to you. We got lucky, so we got 3 rares in this one. We got 2 rares and a mythic. We've got Goliath Hatchery, which is an enchantment for 4 and 2 green. It has, when it enters the battlefield, create 2 3/3 green Phyrexian beast creature tokens with Toxic 1. Corrupted, at the beginning of your upkeep, if an opponent has 3 or more poison counters, choose a creature you control, then draw cards equal to its total toxic value. It's pretty cool. We've got a foil, so actually one of the premium removal spells, I would say, in red. Hex Gold Slash. For 1 red instant, it deals 2 damage to target creature. If that creature has Toxic, it deals 4 damage instead. Definitely a solid common. The rare, though, is Blue Sun's Twilight. It's X and 2 blue. You gain control of target creature with mana value X or less. If X is 5 or more, create a token that's a copy of that creature. So 2 for the price of 1. Oh, look, we also have the Volt Charge in that pack. So it's another premium removal spell. It's 2 in a red. It deals 3 damage to any target, and then you proliferate. I'd be happy to get that pack as, especially in Seal, where I get to have more than one. We have Dragon Wing Glider. It's equipment for 3 and 2 red. It says for Mirrodin again. Equipped creature gets +2/+2, has flying and haste, equipped for 3 and 2 red. The equipped cost is high, but obviously it comes in with a creature. It's just a dragon when you play it. I think it's going to be a good pack. So we got a foil rare, Rhea Ivor, Bane of Bladehold. It's a 3/4 for 2 a white and a black. It has Battle Cry, which, if you don't remember, you don't know, whenever this creature attacks, each other attacking creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. At the beginning of combat on your turn, the next time target creature would deal combat damage to 1 or more players this combat, prevent that damage. If damage is prevented this way, create that many 1/1 colorless Phyrexian Might artifact creature tokens with Toxic 1, and this creature can't block. There's a lot of text there, but it's a pretty solid card. Then we have Koth. We've seen Koth before, but not this one. Koth Fire of Resistance is 2 and 2 red, 4 loyalty, nothing complicated about this. We have +2, search your library for a basic mountain card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and then shuffle. -3, it deals damage to target creature equal to the number of mountains you control. And then -7, you get an emblem. With whenever a mountain enters the battlefield under your control, this emblem deals 4 damage to any target. If you can get up to 7, that's game ending. Mind Splice Apparatus, which is 3 and a blue, flash. At the beginning of your upkeep, put an oil counter. Instants and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each oil counter on it. But we're not done yet, so we've got Urtet, Remnant of Memna, which is a 2/2 for 3 colorless. Whenever you cast I never know if it's Myr or Mir, but whenever you cast a Myr spell, create a 1/1 colorless Myr artifact creature token. At the beginning of combat on your turn, untap each Myr you control. And then you pay 1 of each color. You tap it and put 3 +1/+1 counters on each Myr you control. Activate only during your turn. Jace art token. Let's hope Jace is following it. No, but we got Venser, a different Venser this time. So Venser, this one is a 1/3 for a blue and a black. It has lifelink and toxic 1. And then whenever you proliferate, you choose 1. If you don't control a creature named the Hollow Sentinel, you create the Hollow Sentinel, a legendary 3/3 colorless Phyrexian Golem artifact creature token. Or target artifact creature you control gets flying and lifelink until end of turn. I still think I prefer the older Venser, but that's just because I like countering spells. We have Copperland Gorge, which is also in that cycle at Seachrome Coast. It taps for red or green, and it comes in tap and draw 2 or 3 hands. Tablet of Completion, which is an artifact for 2. You tap it to put an oil counter on it. You add a colorless. You can also tap it to add a colorless, rather. Activate only if it has 2 or more oil counters on it. And you can pay 1 and draw a card. Tap it and draw a card. So activate only if it has 5 or more oil counters on it. We have Cast Down. It's a great popper card. Unfortunately, isn't in this set. So this is another list card. But, you know, if you get it in your sealed pool or whatever, you absolutely... I guess that only comes in set booster, so you won't get it there. But it's a great removal spell. So we have Evolved Spinoderm. It's a 5/5 for 2 and 2 green. It enters the battlefield with 4 oil counters on it. I don't think I've done this one yet. It has Trample as long as you have 2 or few oil counters on it. Otherwise, it has Hexproof. At the beginning of your upkeep, remove an oil counter from it. Then, if it has no counters on it, sacrifice. So, kind of like a Blastoderm. That's certainly the callback that they're going for. And we have Kaya. This Kaya is Kaya Intangible Slayer. It has comes in with 6 loyalty. It is expensive though. It is 3, 2 white, and 2 black. It has hexproof though. If you actually get up to the 7 mana needed to cast it, your opponents can't really mess with it. It has hexproof. It gets +2. Each opponent loses 3 life, and you gain 3 life. Its 0 ability draws 2 cards. Then each opponent may scry 1. And then -3, exile target creature or enchantment. If it wasn't an aura, create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a 1/1 white spirit creature with flying in addition to its other types. A lot of text there, but very strong card. Alright, we have a Mythic again. I don't think we've seen this one. It's another one of the Dominus cycles. Sulfin Mayhem Dominus. It's a 5/4 for 2 and 2 red. If a source you control would deal non-common damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, it deals double that damage to that player or permanent instead. And it has 1 and 2 Phyrexian red. Discard 2 cards, and you can put it in a destructible counter. It looks like we are down to the last pack, so last chance to find that Phyrexian Obliterator. Let's see if they're kind to us. All right. So we have a foil, and we have Skrelv Defector Might. It's a 1/1 for 1 white toxic 1. It can't block. It has 1 Phyrexian and then tap Phyrexian white and then tap it. Choose a color. Another target creature you control gains toxic 1 and hexproof from that color until end of turn. It can't be blocked by creatures of that color this turn. So that's a lot of text. Basically, it's like a Mother of Runes. They're just trying not to put protection on things. Thankfully, we were at least given another chance at talking. So we have Vishgrav, the Doom Hive, which is a 3/3 for 2, a white, a black, and a green. It is a 3/3 for 2, a white, a black, and a green. It has Menace and Toxic 1. When it enters the battlefield, create 3 colorless 1/1 mites artifact creature tokens with Toxic 1, and this creature can't block. It gets +1/+1 for each poison counter your opponents have. We got a lot more than the bare minimum. I think we did a great box. I hope you had fun watching it. I hope you can come out this weekend, maybe pick up some of these cards. They're sitting in front of me, or just open your room. So, thanks for watching. The lawyer that shows up is the one that represented Stormy Daniels. I was like, what is he doing here? That's wild. Not to spoil it or anything, but it happened 20, whatever years ago. So.